What's going on, everybody? This is the Might As Well podcast, and my name is Wesley Andrews, if you do not know me. And I want to get started off right off the bat. Something I want to talk about is new beginnings and this new chapter that we're all about to go into. And it's really in my face right now because I've been working down the shore this summer, and I made a lot of good friends at work, and we've hung out a lot this summer, got really close, and made good relationships. And now some people are going to other countries, some people are going off to college, I'm doing my own thing, and it's really hitting right now. And it's happened a lot in my life, just like with graduation and just so many things, so many times, friends moving and stuff like that, just everyone going down their own path, and we're all on our own path, and that's a beautiful thing. But at times it can be sad because we have these tribal instincts, and we love our community and stuff, we love our friends and our family, and so it's hard to move on. But it's always for the best, and it feels sad right now. This is something like I've been telling myself, like it feels sad, and at the same time it's happy, and I'm like grateful to see my friends go on. I'm grateful to move on. Like, we didn't want to just work here all summer and just for the rest of our lives. Like, we were only working here for the summer to go on and do better things with our lives. So I'm really grateful for that, and it's just new beginnings, and sometimes you gotta close a door to open a window, and I'm really feeling that right now. And I just know, like, I'm gonna look back on this and be like, just like anything I look back on my life, when I feel like something's coming to an end, it's really just a beginning. So I know great things are coming. And going on with that, just like with like people going on to new chapters, I just want to say something I learned about just like how we spend years of our lives doing stuff and just distracted by things that don't matter. I've spent years of my life distracted by things that don't matter, and I'm still overcoming those things and focusing on what actually matters in my life, what I actually want to do, like how I want to create. And I didn't come here to work into this life. I came here to create and spread love and positivity. That's not what I want to do. I want to be unique. And I've always came to this life to create. I have some notes on like what I want to talk about, and just I want to tell the story of when I was little. So in 4th grade, I created a Facebook account because my friend at the time had a Facebook, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I want a Facebook too. I want to be on social media and get friends and stuff like that. And I remember when I was setting up my account, I was in 4th grade, but they ask you stuff about your bio, and stuff in your bio that they ask you questions for, not questions that you ask to describe a 4th grader. They're questions you ask to describe someone who's older. And so the questions were like, where'd you graduate high school? I wrote the high school I knew I was going to graduate from. I wrote like this new car that I wanted to have. I said I drove like a convertible. I said I lived in Los Angeles. I said I was a YouTuber, which is like all crazy stuff. And I remember, like, the point of the story is I always knew I was the creator of my own reality. I always knew like those were the places I saw myself in. I remember I wrote I lived in Los Angeles. And it's just crazy how, like, when I was that young, like, I just knew, like, I had big dreams then. I had big dreams in middle school. I had big dreams in high school. I have big dreams now. And I just knew, like, I always knew to see myself in the light that I want to see myself, in the way I want to see myself. And it was only, I don't even think I really let it get to me, but I remember like going to like a family occasion, and my family members were like making fun of me, and they were like, oh, look on his Facebook, he says he's living in Los Angeles and he's this and that. And like, because they were just older, and like it wasn't true in that moment, but so they just looked at it like that, and they were making fun of me because that's just what they saw. But within me, I knew it was something I always wanted to achieve, and I knew it was something I would achieve, and I feel like that's why I wrote it there. So I think, and we underestimate kids. Like, kids haven't been programmed by this world to think some things are possible and some things aren't. They're just creating how they see fit. They're so connected to source in the universe, and they just go with the flow. They're so real too. Like when they're happy, they'll show you they're happy. When they're sad, they'll just show you they're sad. Like there's no hiding their emotions. They tell you what they want, and it's really beautiful. And we should be more like children. And I think we should. I'll touch more on that later. But something I also want to talk about is not standing in your truth is a response to trauma. Not standing in your truth is a response to trauma. Because if you're always trying to people please and stuff, that probably stems from your childhood and like just wanting to be accepted and stuff. And that's something I like. The reason I say it is because it hits me like just with political opinions and stuff like that. And it's not even political. Like politics is just theater. Really, it's just real life, honestly. Like, and it's deeper than just politics on just who you want to be as a person and all that stuff. Who you want to love, who you want to be friends with, all that stuff. So the light just got out. Fuck it. It's like the might as well duality. And I just wanted to say like if you're trying to please other people and you're not saying your truth, that's a response to trauma from your past, and you're just killing your soul by doing that, by not saying your truth. So no matter what anyone says about you, just do you. Like, don't care what the world says, don't care what any other people say, just do you. Incoming call. Beautiful. And this podcast doesn't have to be perfect, so I'm just happy to be doing this. This is the 4th one. It's fucking crazy. So crazy. So going on to that, just doing like what you want to do and saying your truth. I was like looking on this like Barstool post, and it was just like, it said like any tips for incoming freshmen, like wrong answers only. And I was reading the comments, and they were just like, oh, the math department's really loving, and they want your success, and the chemistry department, they're great, all the teachers there are great and stuff like that. And it was just like reminding me about school, and it was reminding me about like all the things I don't want to do, and like how school like wasn't meant for me. And like I really don't think it's meant for any of us. Like personally, I think school, another thing I was learning about, it was talking about how school, it doesn't teach you how to learn. It teaches you how to just comply to authority. Like you think about school, like you like have to raise your hand to talk, raise your hand to go to the bathroom. You have like bells keeping you on schedule, like when to do this and that. And really like you don't get taught how to think for yourself. There's so many issues with the educational system. And I just realized like I've learned so much this summer just on my own. I was in the park one time reading, and this little girl came up to me and she was like, this park sucks, because there's not really like much like playground. It's more just like a chilling park. And I was reading, and I was like, I like this park. And she was like, oh well, yeah, it's good for studying, but it's not good for like playing. And I realized like I was just reading a book that I was interested in, and she was looking at it as like studying, and I was like, you know what, it is studying. Like I am learning. But when you just look at it as like something you want to do, you don't look at it as work or like studying or like something like that. It's just play. And like I realized I'm just a student of life. I think if you know me, like, you know, I'm not some like just like person like that didn't like, I enjoyed school, I enjoyed learning about history and stuff. It's just some of the things that come with school that just don't fulfill my needs personally. And I just need to be like I just need to have freedom. Like I've been going to school my whole life. I just need to get out of that system and just attract opportunities and money and all this stuff, like just prosperity on my own. Like, and it's already here, it's already coming, and I'm just so grateful. Like I realize like I said, like I'm on my own path, and I'm standing in my truth, and I'm not gonna let anything in the world like deter me from that. And that's just all I have to say about that. Like that's really just how it is. And another thing I've learned is life life is long. Like, a lot of people say life is short, but life is actually very long. And in our society, like, it's, and it all really, like, the indoctrination that we've all had from school, like, has messed our minds up so much, where we think, like, oh, you gotta go to this grade, to this grade, to this grade, and keep going on. And you need to do stuff right now. Like, you get your little summer break, and then you got to go back to this, or you get out of this, and then you got to go to your next job or something like that. And we don't have time to just focus on ourselves. And that's why I'm so grateful for just the time I have right now. And I'm so young. I've said this before. I'm 19 years old. Like, I got my whole life ahead of me. And that just releases so much pressure. Like, I feel like I'm very grateful and confident in, like, what I'm doing. I'm doing great things right now, and I have no pressure. I have no pressure to have to do anything, really. Like, I don't have to be like, and we have these, like, fake, like, facades of where we have to be in our lives, or, like, you have to be going to college and then you got to get a job, and, like, that's like, no, that's not. You're a human being. Be a human being and not a doing. Be a human being and not a doing. Live life, meditate, release, and eliminate fear. And there's, like, this guru, or Buddha, I think, I don't know, and he said, this is, like, I'm pretty sure, I forget where I heard it, but he said, someone asked him, what did you learn from, or what did you gain from meditation? And he said, nothing. And then he said, but from meditation, I've learned to release fear, anxiety, depression, all those things. And I think that's very beautiful, and, like, it's so true. Like, you realize who you truly are, and you release all these three-dimensional problems, all these three-dimensional things that we get so worked up in, and it's not even who we truly are. This whole world's just an illusion by our senses, and we got to remember that. And we have to start our day like a kid that's going on a field trip. Like, so many people just wake up and they expect to go to work, they expect to do this and that, and they're just not excited. Like, you have to realize every day's a gift, and have the mindset of, like, this is what I was talking about earlier that I want to touch on, to have that mindset of a child that's about to go on a field trip, specifically, because they're so excited for the day. Think about when you knew you were going on a field trip, and you just woke right up, possibly before your parents, and you were all ready. Like, when you have something to do that day, you just, like, wake up with so much purpose and, like, energy and stuff like that, and you feel good. And that's how we have to start every day. Just be grateful to be alive. Like, every day I tell myself I'm grateful to wake up, I'm grateful to go to sleep, and I'm loved by life, and it's a great thing. And the last thing I want to touch on, this is a little one, probably a little podcast, but I was just outside before I did this. That's just clearing my head and, like, getting my thoughts ready for this. And my friend who lives in the building I'm living in, she told me, she was like, she's older, and she was telling me about how, like, when she grew up, like, she liked just playing outside till the street lights came on, and you didn't have, like, a phone or anything, and just how she was like, we don't always need to be connected, like, all the time. And, like, I feel like that's why our generation is dealing with more anxiety and depression than other generations, because we're always connected to each other. Even your friends, like, sometimes they text you and you just don't want to get back. Like, it's not really natural to have to stay connected with all these people and always be talking and always connected on social media, just comparing yourself to other people. It's summer, a lot of people are posting their bodies and stuff like that, which is perfectly fine. And then some people might compare themselves to other people, and we just got to learn to embrace who we are. And, like, I think going within yourself is very important. It's just something I got to keep reaffirming to myself, to everybody that watches this. Just keep going within yourself and not compare yourself to anybody else, because you're perfect exactly the way you are, and this world's perfect exactly the way it is. And once we realize that, once you realize you're perfect exactly the way you are and the world's perfect exactly the way it is when you have the confidence to change it to your liking, because you realize I'm perfect now. So if I want to change, I'm doing it out of self-love and self-respect, and not self-hatred of, oh, I'm not perfect right now, so I need to change. I need to change to reach this fictional idea of perfect, because nothing's perfect in the world, and in our society we think some things are perfect, and we think perfection's something that we can achieve, but really we never will be able to. And yeah, I just think like that's so important to just realize that the way we're living right now is not natural, and you just need to take time for yourself and like do that social media detox, take time away from friends and family just to focus on yourself and go within. And like while the world's all crazy, I saw something on Instagram, and I feel like it would be a good way to end it. I want to find it. Like this happened before. Can't find it. Basically, it was saying like while the world, I can't find it, but while the world was, everyone was worried about selfies and getting the bag and twerking and all this stuff. Like it was just like, it was very funny. But while the world was focused in all that 3D stuff, I was doing the inner work. And I think that's so powerful. Like that's why like Tibetan monks started their deep meditation and stuff like years ago, because the world, their external environment was very bad with the weather conditions and stuff like that in China. So it was like super cold and stuff like that, so they had to just go within. Like that was their sanctuary. The world was so crazy, not because of politics or society or anything, just the earth and the weather conditions were so bad that they had to go within. And I feel like that really translates to right now, and just like everybody, and really like cancel mainstream media. Like mainstream media has no interest in people's well-being. They want to just keep the fear up, keep you tuned in. Because think about like when you're watching a movie and you're all anxious on the edge of your seat, like watching a thriller movie, and like you love that, and like that's just a movie. Think about like what the media is doing. Like that's how they get us. Like, oh, this and that. You're gonna you have to live your life in fear, and just keep tuning in at 6 o'clock every day to check out what they have to say. And that's the devil, really. Fear is just the devil. And you just gotta connect to God and connect to love and peace. World peace. In 2021, we are achieving world peace. World peace within the collective. The collective is rising. The people are rising. Consciousness is rising. My consciousness has definitely been rising, and I'm grateful for that. And I'm grounded. I'm radiantly beautiful and unique. I'm confident and powerful. I'm loving and loved. I express myself freely. I see the truth, and I live my life through my higher self. Blessings. Blessings. History really has its eyes on us right now, and that's so cool. Like we're the generation that's going to experience like the craziest jump in human history ever, and you can either be afraid or excited, and I'm definitely excited to experience it, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen. I think big things are coming. I think big positive change is coming. I feel it. I really feel it. And just let's manifest the life that we want to live, and just be grateful to live it. I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be in front of a camera right now talking. Like, my dream has already happened, and I'm so grateful. So grateful for all of you. I'm grateful that you've watched this far, and let's just do great things. Peace and love.